Hi.
Hi,
How are you? Hey, you guys
doing
are here.
Hi.
good. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, hi.
Can you
I was
guys hear
just
me
reading.
okay?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you. Cool. I was just reading how you could do like a ad for your live now through Meta, but I haven't looked at that. So that may be something we need to look at in the future.
I like
Ooh.
that. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like we should give everybody like a couple of minutes to kind of see that it's going. So,
Yes.
oh hey, yay, we've got somebody following. Um, I think the main thing though is we've been doing these to kind of bridge the gap with like the fitness and the health, but like also the mindset and things. And then of course I've just really been interested in like how you also bring in like the sexuality and all that into the conversation. So I just thought it would be like I'm saying. I mean, could turn into a couple of nights, maybe a few, whatever, depending on how much we want to talk about.
Yeah, for
So,
sure. I'm
have you
just
had? Sorry, go
flying
ahead.
by I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, honestly.
I
Like always.
Yeah,
like that. It's a good vibe right there. That's all.
yeah, that's what I do most of the time too. But I have a little more flexibility since I don't have little kids in the house. So,
Right, yep.
Right.
well, do you want to go ahead and like get into it and kind of give us like a little bit of your background?
Sure. I mean, there's not a whole lot of background.
Okay.
My name is Cece.
Mm-hmm.
I am turning 33 next month. I've got two littles who will be 4 and 8 this summer. And I've been with my husband for 14 years, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we met in college, did this whole thing, got married after our first kid. Like we did everything so out of order. It was awesome. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. Like my page has evolved so much in the last 2 years. It's kind of crazy, like how quickly everything shifted and like where the growth is coming from now because this used to be my personal
Oh wow.
Instagram page. I've had it since Instagram came out. And so it was just kind of like my little diary, and then it evolved as I started exploring like businesses and other opportunities I could jump into online. And now, I mean, here we are. Apparently sex really does sell because
Yeah.
everybody is loving it.
I know. Well, like even my couple of posts that have had a lot more people tuning in have been, kind of like the sexual jokes lately too.
Yeah.
So I've been like trying to come up with like more. I'm like, okay, what can I say next?
Oh my God, they've been so funny too. They've been awesome.
Well, thanks. Well,
Yeah.
so like, do you have, I know you promote some products. Do you have like another job outside the home?
No, not outside the home. I'm mostly online based. I'm like partnered with some direct to selling companies, partnered with some other brands for commission sales, but I'm a stay at home mom mostly.
Hmm.
Um, and I might be transitioning kind of like out of that soon. I don't know. Our oldest son is going to school, and then my daughter, who knows, maybe in the next year she'll be going to school, and who knows what's next. But for now, I'm stay-at-home mom and content creator, as we call it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so since this came from your personal page and you just
Yeah.
started sharing more stuff, did you notice like you lost people when you started talking more about sex and stuff?
Yes, 100%. Everybody is so weird about it. And like that's the thing that is like such a big deal. It's like so taboo. I don't get it.
Hmm.
But then
And
it draws all the strangers.
it does.
Yeah.
I have so many men following me. I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but okay, whatever. Um, I actually ended up blocking a whole bunch of my friends and family because for one, I was like, I don't want to deal with like their feedback or their criticisms. And two, some of them are really, really like they're just not in the right headspace
Yeah.
to like take what I'm giving right now. And I'm like, it's nothing against you guys. I just
Right.
don't need like that mental blockage like
Sure.
stopping me from creating.
Yeah. No, I understand because like I've trying to be like more and more myself, and there's been a couple of times like where my dad has been like, "Hey, you may not want it to say fuck or whatever because it may turn some people away and you're trying to draw people to you." And I'm like, "But you know what? If they're not okay with that, then they're like not my people." And so I guess I don't want to, and it's hard to say
Yeah.
that. But yeah, and now too, luckily, well, not luckily. I shouldn't say I'm glad my grandmother's dead because I'm not. But but there was a time where she would like criticize. I mean, and I used to like not say the F word on Facebook at all. And I shared like a post that said ass one time, and then there was like something else that said like hella. And she like called me and was like, just
That's my
like
family.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I on the phone with her, I was like, I am an adult. Like,
Right.
so if I want, because she was trying to say, well, what is your job going to think? And I was like, everyone at my job cusses, like,
We're all adults here. It's okay. It's
yes,
okay,
yeah.
man. Jeez.
Literally, one of my reels that I posted, the audio just had cuss words in it. My dad's like, I love what you're doing and everything, but I don't want to open a video and just fuck, fuck, fuck. And I'm like, okay. Like, and it was like a popular song, you know what I mean? It was just,
Yep.
Yeah.
but yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
sorry.
Block. I love you,
Sometimes it
but
happens.
bye.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Well, so like, and you kind of talked about this on one of your posts too, Cece, like just how this hasn't always been kind of the thing with you and your, God, here's our nose lover again. He's back.
Oh, our nose lover. I can't see any comments, so
You're
I
so
apologize,
loyal.
but I
I mean,
can't
I
see anything.
appreciate the loyalty. Anyways, so like you
Love it.
kind of mentioned like you and your husband maybe didn't have the best communication around like sex and stuff before. So do you want to tell us about how that evolved?
Yeah, so it's been a really, really long journey, and to try and keep it like shorter and more concise. I dealt with some sexual trauma as a young girl, and in my teenage years, I was like seeking attention from the wrong people, right?
Sure.
I didn't know who my biological dad was. I had a stepdad who kind of just like came in and took my mom away, and she was kind of already checked out anyway. So I
Mhm.
didn't have like that support that I really needed. So I was seeking it from outside sources. Unfortunately, that resulted in some trauma. So um, when I met my husband, we were in college, and I hadn't really like got into anything with him. We moved in together a couple years after being together, and something, I don't know what triggered me. Something triggered me, and I started having all of these flashbacks. And I was like, oh my God, like he can't even touch me right now because, like, when he does this, like it triggers this, XYZ.
Mhm.
So we really had to, like, work with each other and be open and communicate about those things. And he really didn't even know that anything like that severe had happened to me. He had no
Did
idea.
y'all go through any
It's like,
therapy together, or did y'all just start talking about it?
Nope, no therapy. We just started talking about it. And thankfully, he's an extremely open-minded person. He's very caring. So there was never any like judgment. I never felt like he was judging me around any of these things, which is so big because our shame is just like embedded in us,
Yes.
especially when we've been through so much trauma. And you're almost like expecting the worst thing to happen. So it was really, really scary, which is why it was so, he was just so grounded in all of it. And I don't know how it fully affected him, but the way he like received me was so unexpected and so nice. I was able to like continue opening up and just like building a better relationship. And we started, like, I was having these kind of like flashbacks. So I would pull back from him, right? And we decided, okay, well, let's just try this like once a week. Let's just schedule once a week because that can help, right? We were like reading some stuff, trying to figure out what to do. And we were young kids. We were like in our early 20s. And so we were like working through this once a week. Okay, cool, 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 cool. And it took a really long time for me to just like really be super open about how everything made me feel, like the things I wanted, things I didn't like. And after we had our first kid, our son, um, things were still like kind of like that, but I had coped more. I did some EMDR therapy for other things,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that kind of like helped me figure out like, okay, like I don't have to be stuck in this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he still through everything was just super chill, like the most chill guy ever. He's like, "Do you want to do anything tonight?" I'm like, I would always tiptoe like, I don't know, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Like I still kind of had like that shame after a few years, but
Mm-hmm.
um like I think the biggest breaking point has been recently, within the last year, and I'm not telling anybody to um cut off their family, but that's what I specifically had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because of the way they weren't receptive of anything. They kind of, my parents enabled the behaviors, like the traumatic behaviors. And I
Mm-hmm.
realized, like, after, getting rid of that stress and the people that, like, caused me so much pain in the past, it like allowed me to open up, and now I'm here and I'm like, holy shit, like this is so crazy. This is the last thing I expected to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and how many followers do you have now?
Like 1,300, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
And
was
you really
stuck for
started posting
ages.
this like when?
Um, I maybe like a month ago, 2 months
Oh,
ago.
really?
Like it's
Wow.
so brand new. It is so brand new.
Okay.
And I'm just
Cool.
like, well, people like really like this. Like
Yeah.
this very like candid, open,
Yeah.
I don't know, this vibe. I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm just
No,
gonna
for
keep
sure.
doing this.
Yeah, it's hard because like I mean influencers had the spotlight for so long and then it felt
Yeah.
like you couldn't be anybody unless you were Kim Kardashian. Like already.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to be
Hmm.
Kim Kardashian today. That's it. And that's the only way you would ever get anybody to actually listen to what you have to say. But I think now everybody's kind of figuring out like they want authenticity. They want somebody who's actually
Hmm.
going to talk about something real rather than the same bullshit, the same product, the same whatever the fuck, whatever. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And your story is absolutely beautiful too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think your husband gave you such a safe and healing space for you to
Hmm.
actually finally get to how you are now. You know what I mean? And that's so beautiful too. Just the fact that you found him so young too. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
takes years for people to find somebody that's that chill, and reliable and just
No, for real. I mean,
steady, Yeah.
when I first met him, I was like, no.
That's what I'm saying about my husband too. I'm like, no,
It's like the
I don't want
complete
you. Yeah.
opposite. The complete opposite of anybody I ever dated. And like I was always trying to fix these terrible, disgusting, broken guys. And then he comes along and he's just like so chill and like so fun. I'm like, this guy is weird as fuck. Like I don't know what is going on.
Literally. No, that's the exact same thing I found out with my husband, and like that's what made me stay with my husband because I
Yeah.
was like, he's so different, and then like signs would pop up all the time too, but like he was just different. How he reacted to things was just nothing I've ever seen before. So I was like, this is
Hmm.
weird, but I have to hold on to this because I nothing that I was doing before was helping at all, and that was the same
Exactly.
thing over and over again. I was repeating pattern after pattern. And it was like, well, this is stupid. Like, I'm driving myself insane? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes you have to
exactly.
go with the weird feeling or the weird vibes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because your story overall is pretty relatable because I think so many of us have had some form of, trauma, sexual trauma, whatever. And yeah, and so if you continue that pattern, like you're saying, or if you don't find the right person, I was married for 16 years before my current husband, and a lot of that was just further like sexual abuse and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you're like she's saying, you're like just really lucky that you found that, and not just luck, right? Like you were willing to put in the work and
Yeah.
Yeah.
communicate and that sort of thing. So, and then it just made me think too, because you talked about cutting out your family and how you're not saying to cut out your family, but I'm in this empty nester group, and it's the most depressing group ever.
That's
It's so
terrible.
terrible. Every once in a while, there's some positive people in there, but I'm like living my best life with my
Yeah.
grown child
Yeah.
gone. But these people are not, and a lot of it is that like they don't get along with their spouses. They never took that time, but a lot of them are so just like, my kids don't talk to me and it's so hateful and mean. And they're like, well, my mom did this, this, and this, but I would never cut her out. And it's like, but you're not even
Mm-hmm.
willing to like acknowledge things, work on things. And
Say
it's just,
sorry.
yeah,
Say
Yep. It's
agreed.
like
sorry.
that's the bare
It's so
minimum.
easy.
It's
And they
literally
just
the bare
can't do it,
minimum.
you
No.
know?
No, they're
So,
just so stuck in their ways, which is like exactly why I had to like remove myself because it was just like talking to a wall. I'm like, you guys, I'm trying to like tell you what's going on and you're not getting it. Like you don't even care. And
mhm.
so it's just like, why? I don't understand. And I don't understand as a mom myself now how like a parent can treat their kid that way and then
Mhm.
expect so much back from them.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what somebody said. Well, them not talking to me is intentional hurt, and that's unforgivable. And I said, you being unwilling to face your side, and make any changes, that is also a decision. And you just said that's unforgivable. I was like,
Hmm.
and I don't normally interact and like argue with these people, but for whatever reason that day I was feeling
Feeling
You feel
spicy.
spicy every once in a while.
but yeah,
I feel those days too. You get spicy and you're like, ooh, this just hit me a wrong way. I need to say something.
yeah.
But no,
Yes.
what like I guess with the reels that I have seen of yours, is it like what do people come to you and like talk about like their sexual relationship and like how you think it would benefit them differently if they did tried something else, or like do you do like live or like one-on-one calls with people to like discuss this stuff or
I don't. And I don't do like one-on-ones. I guess I have like friends that people that I actually know will message me and we'll like chit chat about stuff, but
Mhm.
nobody really outside of my real life friends have like really conversed with me about, what we're doing in the bedroom with our husbands. I did have like one or two ladies comment on a reel of mine, and I was so pissed off about it that I got a little bit heated in another reel. Because they were like, my husband just pushes me away. I'm like,
Oh yeah, that
girl, why?
yes.
You
yeah,
should probably just, I don't know the dynamic, but like, that's not a
that's
good sign. That's not
Right.
good.
that's
If
Yeah,
your
bad.
and
husband is pushing you away.
yeah, and you said something like, well, if they take care of themselves, if they do this, and then there's no reason why they shouldn't. And my
Hmm.
comment was like, well, they probably aren't. They probably aren't like they probably don't have, they're probably not working out. They're probably not eating correctly. And they probably are. Those are the people that aren't just taking care of themselves, or they have some sort of secret. Is kind of
Right?
my
Yep.
thought.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah, and that's where too I think the conversation of like health and fitness sometimes needs to be brought into that as well. Hormone
Hmm.
therapy, like men's testosterone, well, ours too, like our testosterone goes down as we age. And so sometimes people kind of like settle in that and they think, well, I'm just comfortable and lazy. But it's like if you have no drive, it might be a hormone issue.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's too one of those things with sex. It's like the more you don't do it, the more you're comfortable not doing it. And like, I don't know if you've ever had this where it's like, then you do have sex and like it's really fun and then it kind of like re-sparks things to where you're like you want to do it again, you know. And
Yeah.
so I've always like I used to be in like a random Facebook group on my old profile that was like just women talking about sex, and that was always like my kind of advice. Like when they're like, I don't really feel like doing it, I was like, just like create a kind of like a bedtime ritual, create like a sex ritual, and then it like gets you in the mood, and then the more you're in the mood, the more it, you know, keeps you in the mood. So I think there's different things like that, you know, just talking about, I think could be really beneficial because again, like women, there's not a lot of women talking about it online because one, then we get harassed by men. And so, you know, it's hard to like put yourself out there and like talk about it. But I also think it's good you have your husband that you can feature so often, and some guys still don't care, but
I am so pissed. Every time I post a reel of him, it goes crazy viral.
That's what everybody says.
You thirsty bitches. Like, I'm no better, but what? But damn, you know?
Yeah, you're like, it's my page. Hey, leverage that as much as you can.
Yeah,
because then maybe they'll start listening to you.
Yeah, right. Yep. I have had really good feedback though from a lot of women like that I don't know as well, and they're just like, "Thank you so much for talking about this." Like this, you know, there's not enough people. There's not many women openly talking about sex and intimacy with their partners because one, Instagram just it's being nice right now, but it's very tricky and it doesn't like a lot of prerogative. I don't know, like
yeah, you're right. They kind of
words.
They like censor a lot, so you got to be kind of sneaky, which was on like playtime and like trying to figure out creative ways to talk about it without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's also, I feel like it's definitely still the people that come at you and are like, why would you do this? Or like people coming at you and being mad because you're talking about something that is very personal. Very, I mean, duh, it's sex, but it's very personal, you know? And I think people get offended whenever somebody opens up about something really personal. I mean, it's definitely on them. It's not on you at all. But it's just kind of like you get that backlash too, and you're like, dude, like I'm just trying to talk about something that I love. That everybody, it should be normal. People need to talk about it. Like it's not a bad thing at all, you know?
Wildly enough, there hasn't been a single woman that's like, what the fuck? It's the men. And I think it is a projection of
weird.
what they're going through. I'm like, what do you
Why?
What?
You're welcome. I'm trying to get you laid more by your wife. Like,
I'm trying to help you. Like, this isn't just for ladies. This is like for everybody.
Right. Like, come on. Yeah.
Well, it's like they just can't imagine being that open about things. And I think that's what like kind of our generation is doing. We're like, everybody does these things, whether it's like think badly about themselves and feel self-conscious or have sex. We're like, everybody does these things. Why don't we just talk about it?
You're man and wife. You have to have babies. Like or you don't have to have babies, but like you're making babies. So like, how do you make babies? Oh, I don't know, sex. Like it's like, what do you mean? Like, why can't we talk about the thing that's the most natural thing that we could do as two human beings? Like
it is so well. I also grew up in Utah, in like a very, very, very small town. And I was like surrounded by Mormons and just like the sex ed classes that they had us take were absolutely ridiculous. First of all, it was co-ed classes, and I'm like, this is insane. And it was a joke, but all of the Mormon boys, there's like this thing in Utah. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called soaking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all deep in the Mormon culture.
It's like where they do they do no movement. They just go and they just sit there. And
And then it
now
doesn't count.
it doesn't count. Or their
No.
friend shakes the bed. And I'm like, what are we teaching people? And so
It's
many
nice.
girls thought you could get pregnant through your belly button. And I'm like, this is bad, you guys.
Yeah.
So weird.
Did
No,
you
that's
So
watch
really
weird.
bad.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was gonna say because like even like Michaela on there, she kind of has a similar story to you and has had issues with her husband because of the trauma. So it just made me think
Yeah.
of that. And like I was saying, I just think so many people can relate to that, which is why I think it's so important for you to like get your story out there and also like people let people know they can overcome that and like have a
Yes.
healthy, happy,
Yeah.
their spouse. Like I think that's so cool. I definitely like it takes me to me and Sybil's conversation last week of like get your LLC. Like I don't know, you could look into like some sort of certification for life coaching. Like
I've like legit thought about intimacy coaching. I'm like,
yes,
Yes.
I
you
used
need
to
a
Sorry.
business.
watch did you guys ever watch Private Practice? It was like a
Mm-mm.
spin-off from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Okay, and there was this woman in there in the show. Her name was Charlotte. She was a sex therapist, and I was like, "What? You can do that? I had no
Right.
idea." But
Well,
like intimacy coaching or something would be so up my alley right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm sure there's different like ways you can go about it legally or whatever too. I have a
Yeah.
friend that's like a sex, love, and relationship coach. I don't know who she went through. I could definitely give you her contact information. But she had to do so many like free hours to get
Hmm.
certified. And so she gave me, I think like 3 free sessions. We did some work just around like my family in general, but then we did also talk about like relationship stuff and sex stuff. And so it was really helpful for me. So I definitely think that's
Hmm.
something you should do. You should go for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into it because I think like if you can't all of we're all energy, and like if you cannot move that stagnant energy, the trauma and the things that have happened, if you can't move it out of your body, like it's going to stay there and it's just going to fester and just, turn into things that you don't want. I think that's why so many people are just unhappy. Like they can't acknowledge what they've been through or like how to process anything. So they're like, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just
Put
stuck
that in a
here
box.
forever.
Just
Yep.
acceptance. I accept what I went through. I accept the choices that I made in my past. I
Hmm.
accept who I was. I can take pieces of me that or I could create a whole new me.
Yes.
You got to get past it because you're never going to live like your life. You're always going to have a chip on your shoulder being like, oh, I did this and I'm a piece of shit person about it. Like, I can beat myself up all day long. Like, that is not hard to do.
Right.
No.
So,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to take baggage with me that I've had. Like, I can beat myself up actively, throughout the day. So I'm not going to take baggage with me that's going to really weigh me down. And like, you know what I mean? Like, no, like you have to get over that. You have to overcome it, and it just, the only way of overcoming anything is accepting it, talking about it, and being okay with it. Like being like,
Mhm.
okay, I fucked up. Let's move on from that.
Yep.
You're in my I fucked up pile. You go over there. I don't know you anymore, and you continue on.
Yeah.
You got to compartmentalize it almost too.
Yep.
Well, and that's that whole thing around like your thoughts are who you are, and you can literally
Yeah.
change your thoughts, so you can literally change who you are. Like, I so
Hmm.
believe that more and more. So many of us have this language around, well, this is who I am, but I'm self aware or whatever, versus like working on making those changes. And so, and then too, like we've talked about here, connection is such a big piece of that. And relating with other people, and then just being open, and because I didn't know Sybil, we didn't know each other before doing this, and now we have
Yeah.
these awesome conversations each week.
So
And
weird.
it is, but it's like it's so fulfilling, like, and it's just
Yeah.
it goes to show it's like again, connection is really, we can say, oh, people are the worst, and oh, I'm an introvert, or I just don't want to deal with people, but you feel it when you connect with people. So whether that's like over the internet or having coffee with a friend or being able to communicate that deeply with your spouse and work through something, that's what like just changes everything for a person. And that you have to be open to that. And it's not, like you're saying, not just shutting that stuff away, because the more you just try to be comfortable and avoid that stuff, it's like, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable for a minute, but then it's like this whole new world opens up. And I just think
You
Mm-hmm.
literally,
it's so important.
yeah.
So
It
You
totally
nipped it.
does.
I just had a bachelorette party, okay? My entire life, any girlfriend that has ever come into, besides one, and she lives in Georgia right now, like that's how, and we barely talk, but every girl that I've ever had as a friend has always, it's never worked out. It's always been really bad
Mm-hmm.
relationships, toxic. I don't know, so I've stayed away. It's been, I mean, I hang out with my husband and my child, like that's it. I'm cool, I'm chill, like whatever, I do my work, I go home, I'm good. And then I've been friends with the bride who's getting married, and we were going on this bachelorette trip, and I knew none of the girls, and I'm like, the last time I went on a bachelorette trip, like, it was terrible. It was
same.
absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do drama. I don't do fakeness. I don't, I, I want to remove myself from whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was terrified to go, but I was like, if I don't go, like, I don't ever, we don't get a babysitter for our son or anything like that. Like, we would take him
Mm-hmm.
to dinner. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? Like, we don't care about that stuff. So it's always
Yeah.
us. And I'm not mad about that at all. But I do believe, just like Queso always says, like, you need your own thing. You need to step out and get your own thing. So I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go. I'm going to bite the bullet, blah, blah, blah. So I went, and I had the most absolute best time in my entire life. And I was just around
Awesome.
women who, like, we're evolving, we're owning up to the fact that they fuck up, and whoopsie, we slipped here, we slipped there, whatever, but like we're still like learning and moving and growing and like all this stuff. And it was so beautiful, and it was so chill. That was like the
Mm.
other thing. Like, I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel like I needed to take control of any situation. Like, it was just like everybody had their own identity. Everybody had their own self-awareness, whatever it was, and we just all vibed. It was really cool, and I would have missed out on it. I would
Yeah.
have missed those friendships that I just made. And then it's like, wow, I'm so glad that I did that, just because now I know that there's even more women out there that I can connect with and communicate with that will actually understand what I'm fucking trying to talk about, rather than getting
Yeah.
judgmental or like whatever. And I'm like, dude, like, just be real for 5 seconds, That's
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I'm
Yeah.
always like, let's just be real for sure. And I think that I was, again, back to Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I was like, what if we had our like Muscle Mommy TV show? And I was like, oh wait, hopefully we wouldn't have enough drama for that because everybody's so
No.
cool.
Everybody's so chill.
That'd
Oh,
be freaking cool, but yeah, no, there's no way. We'd be like,
no.
sup, sup.
So,
You going to
you
the
want
gym
to,
today?
yeah.
No.
Kristen, hey
Get off
Kristen.
your fucking ass. Get to the fucking gym. And then you guys talking behind my back. God, Sybil won't get to the fucking gym. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be
That's
it.
literally all it would be about. Insane. Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say earlier too, because we were talking about like just talking about like things that everybody does and like everybody's afraid to talk about it. And I think I messaged you, Cece. I was like, all the time when people are like, "How's your weekend?" I want to be like, "I had fucking amazing sex all
Yeah.
weekend." That's what I want to say. I'm
Yes. People are
I love that.
they're just like, it's so funny because I have to bully people to like interact on my stories when I do polls or question boxes. I'm like, go fucking do it. Like, why are you being weird? The only weird thing that's happening is you not answering the question. So
yeah.
like, I harass people, and it's just still so funny to see everybody just like swipe past, like they don't want to
Yeah.
say anything. And I'm like,
Are you starting to
it's
get
so
more
crazy.
answers to your stories though? Like you've been so consistent.
Yeah, I was definitely trained in consistency from the direct sales companies that I work with. So I
Okay.
like show up all the time. Like no matter what, I'm like, I feel like a sack of shit right now, but I'm gonna show up anyway.
Yeah.
But people, yeah, the same people answer all the time, and I
Okay.
see the same people on the sidelines, and I'm just like,
Just
I'm gonna
answer.
start
Just do it.
I'm
harassing you.
clocking you, dude, you
Yeah, I'm
know?
gonna
Yeah.
watch you. Watch
Yeah.
you, watch me. I know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like, well, and you do good mixing it in with like a lower, like, have you worked out today? Because that's what I've been taught too, is like you ask like an
Mm.
easier question first and then you ask the harder questions. But I haven't been as good about that in my story, so I need to start doing it. But also too, like with these lives, like no, we don't get a ton of interaction, but also like Sybil said, I think what it says there is not right because you'll have
Yeah,
two
my
Yeah.
people.
husband, my husband has been like, no, I've been on for a long time, and like there would be times where I would see him and then I would not, and I would see the number go up and down. I'm like, I don't know, and I mean, whatever.
No,
It's the
yeah,
cool thing about it is Casey records it, and then we can make reels out of it. So like, it's not
Right.
like it's lost forever, and we can still
right.
reach a larger audience. And hopefully one day, more people will show up to
Tune
our
in.
Monday motivationals. That would be
And
awesome. That
I'm
would be
always
cool,
like,
but
oh,
whatever.
what am I gonna pick out of it? And then we always have such good little things that
Yeah.
that I end up having too much, and I have to like cut it down. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know. I'm like, God, what is she gonna do this time? Like every single time we end it, I'm like, man, she's gonna put together something. I don't know what. I'm always surprised. I'm always like, yeah,
well, good.
accept. That's my job. I just accept the
Well,
collaboration.
this week the one I posted today was like my favorite, where you were like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a job or start
Yeah,
a
that was really
business.
good.
Start a
That's so
business.
good. Definitely
Yeah,
just do it.
literally. No, even on the bachelorette trip, anytime I was like, I'm bored. I was like, I'm gonna just chill and start a new LLC. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why,
What else could I
so
do?
weird. So weird. But no, I wanted to ask you before to kind of like maybe wrap up here too. Um, Whenever you have that maybe a disconnection with your husband, how do you like I feel like I'm assuming that you've worked on it so well that you guys work through that stuff very quickly so it doesn't really
Mhm.
affect the sexual relationship or this, all that stuff or whatever. But there's just like sometimes where I just literally feel like I don't want to be touched. And
Mhm.
like it has nothing to do with him at all, it's just I tell him, I communicate to him, I'm like, I need to come to you right now. Like, I need you to just chill, sit over there, and just do nothing. Let me work through whatever I'm working through in my head, and then let me come to you. And then he realizes it, and then I do eventually come to him, but it takes me a minute sometimes. But I didn't know if you had like any tips or I don't know, something.
Um, I think I'm pretty similar in that way, actually. My husband is like so in tune with me that he just knows. He's like, he'll look at me, he'll be like, "What's wrong?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nothing," and just like give him attitude, and then he'll, pry on me a little bit, and I just kind of break down. Like I still have those shields up. Like I still try to like not burden him with things, which is so silly. And I think probably a lot of us feel that way. Like also trying to process like what we need to say. I don't know about you, but like I chalk a lot of my life up to being a Gemini because I'm absolutely neurotic about things and like so back and forth and crazy. And
Yep.
I need to like get my thoughts together before I start like talking to him about anything. And then while I'm talking to him, all of this shit like comes up and like comes out. And I'm just like, I didn't even know I was like that bothered by whatever it was. But
Yeah.
apparently it's kind of been like festering, like we talked about, right? And
Hmm.
whenever I'm just feeling kind of like touched out, especially I've got the two kids, you've got a young one too, and they're just like always all over you. I'm like, I have to tell them I can't be touched right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
so annoyed and like I just
Hmm.
need
Yeah.
space. Want to lay on the couch and like watch a movie and just not be touched.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it's been up until recently. And he's just I think it's just the communication. Like you just have to find a way to communicate that to your partner. Like he used to be the one who was always on my shit. Like let's go get busy. We need to have some playtime. And I'm just like, I'm tired. My tummy hurts. I have a headache. XYZ. Like I make all these excuses up, or I just wasn't like really acknowledging what I needed to like work through. So I think if you could
Hmm.
do that and then just take a break, just take a tea, like we can touch without getting like into it. We could just,
Yeah.
what is the physical touch? You know, like it's
Yeah.
not just about sex, it's also about back rubs. Like, let me play with your hair or let me rub
Hmm.
your feet or something,
Yeah.
you know, and then kind of like moving from that space. I think when you're like regulated, it's so much easier
Yeah.
to
And
be
like
able to like receive.
that's one thing that like my husband is very touchy, physical touch, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Gemini as well. I just actually had my
Bless.
birthday over the weekend, right? I was like, oh, hello. I do understand you. Okay, I get it. But no, it's I have to have a good conversation. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
you open me up, it doesn't matter if it's opening me up, oh, spiritually and blah blah all this stuff, or we're just literally talking and just vibing so good. I'm like, yeah, get in my pants, bro. Like
Yeah,
those
let's
are like what like
go.
literally gets me going. And I'm like, hell yeah, you're
Yep.
talking to me. Or like my husband, he's a very quiet dude, but he will open up, to me, of course, especially. But like when he does, I'm like, I have to shut up a lot of the times because
Yeah.
I'm just like absorbing it all. I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Just take it in. Because he
Yeah.
doesn't talk ever, but it's
Yeah.
literally like it helps so much me just get in the mood and be like, yeah, okay, we're vibing, let's do it, whatever. Yeah.
See, and that's one of the things that like if guys would pay attention instead of getting mad at your content because you do give them tips too. It's like talk to your fucking wife. Like I'm the
Yeah.
same way. When my husband's like all about like telling me about his day, all of a sudden I'm like, hold on,
Tell
I'm
me
so
about
distracted right now.
I want to know.
No,
Like, give me a
yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I
He's
can
like,
talk
what?
forever. I could talk for days straight, and my husband knows
Same.
that completely.
Mm.
And he knows that's a part of me, and that's why he's the listener, and he is a great fucking listener. He's an amazing listener. But like, when he starts talking, I'm like, sold, done, on it, in.
Let's go. That's so awesome.
When we gonna start? When we gonna start? Now?
Oh,
Later? Okay. But yeah, no. I just didn't know, like, I think it's just more of I staying in it, staying in that like negative headspace, not wanting to, but also like me and my husband went through a period of time where he thought it was him. He thought I wasn't attracted to him anymore. And I'm like, dude,
my
you
husband
gotta get
too.
it out of your fucking head that
Hmm.
like it's me. It is not anything to do with you. Like, stop. Like,
Yep.
and it took a little bit, and then finally he realized, I'm like, it's me. Like,
Yeah,
let
it is
me get out of
100%.
my space. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and then, because even that, it's like, to me, it's like, oh, you don't understand me. But at the same time, it's like, I can't make you understand me. So, but I'm also working through something and I'm trying, all these other things. And there's like 50 moving parts. And then you're fighting with yourself. And then it's, that connection with your spouse is kind of like awkward for like
Yeah.
a day. And then all of a sudden it's like, dude, can we please just like talk about this or like figure out a way to move on from it? And then as soon as because I feel the energy, I feel the air. As soon
Yep.
as if it feels clear, I'm like, woo,
Woo!
a new person, a
Yeah.
new LLC, a new business is happening. No, no, I'm just
Yep.
kidding. But like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
just, you have to have that openness and that freeing because if it's stagnant air around you, it's just festering. Even the air gets
Yeah.
festering. Yeah.
Yeah. And think that's like that. I don't know what. I mean, honestly, I was a really bad communicator for a while, but I look at some of these guys and I'm just like, how are you so bad at expressing yourself? It's probably because they had like parents that didn't allow them to, like you can get into the psychology of it, but at the end of the day, like you're a grown ass person. You could take accountability for how you are now and like recognize what you had to go through, but like you can't just keep making those excuses like I can't communicate because my parents never let me. Okay, but you can. You're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just like choosing not to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then they get mad at their wives because they don't know what their wives want. They just like expect them to know all this shit. And like
Mm-hmm.
vice versa, it's not just on the guys,
Sure.
but like when you're not open in communication, like nothing else is gonna flow.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
have to be able to work through this stuff, and the only way to work through it is to talk.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no other way around it. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. I watch, me and my husband love to watch like Temptation Island, or
Yes.
the newest one is The Ultimatum. Oh my God,
Hmm.
it's ridiculous.
I love trashy reality shows.
My husband loves drama and I hate it. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. Hate it. I don't like, to me, I'm just depicting everything. I'm like, oh, I've been there, and I know that they need to
Hmm.
tweak this, and I like seeing those things because sometimes, like, me and my husband have been through those
Yeah.
situations. Like, we have grown through this together. So, like, it is cool to see that another couple is going through that and we have worked through that, or we know how to work through that, or whatever it is. But
Right.
it's also really sad to see because I'm like, God, these dudes are just fucking idiots, you know what
Idiots.
I mean?
Well,
You just want
sometimes
to punch them through the wall.
No, I'm
I
almost done.
wonder,
Sorry.
like you're saying, if a woman is feeling that way, like untouched or whatever, men supposedly, like they don't, especially being rejected by their wife or whatever, some of them can internalize that. So I wonder if that's
Hmm.
some of these men they're talking about, well, he doesn't want me. It's like they've turned that around on the
Yeah.
woman because at some point,
Yeah.
she's raising the kids, she's overstimulating, she's
Mm-hmm.
turned him down. And instead of, communicating that later, even if they couldn't communicate in that moment, hey, it wasn't you, I was just feeling this way, and then so like I feel like maybe that sometimes comes into your relationship because you build those resentments when you don't talk about things, right?
For
You don't.
sure. I mean, I experienced that too with our first son, and I didn't have help. I didn't have a community, and I felt like I was doing everything all the time. And I had also lost my brother the year prior, so I was like going through all of this stuff, and everything was just so hard. And I'm like, I can't handle like another thing. So like touching felt uncomfortable, having sex felt uncomfortable because I just like it was like if your needs aren't met, then you can't like meet other people's needs. And my husband didn't know that my needs were going unmet because I was
Right.
raised in a house where the woman took on the responsibility and she shut up about it. Like my
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
mom would do all of these things and mumble profanities and her hate under her breath while she was doing them. And so like I was like, oh, that's what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it on
And
the chin type thing. Yeah.
yep, exactly. And so like how was he supposed to know? So again, it's like the communicating, like unless you can really just be open, it's just going to be like this really terrible cycle. You're going to get resentment towards each other, like, and once you get so far, I don't think you can come back from it.
Right.
No. Right.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I
I think
think.
it,
No, go ahead.
so, sorry. I was like, no, I think it takes, because like I don't know if I've ever felt like really truly resentment. I just know that me and my husband were not communicating well for a really long
Hmm.
time. And then it was just like down to, it's like, know what, we're either doing this or not doing it. You know what I mean? And then that's the serious conversation you have to have. And then
Yeah.
it takes both parties to be like, yes, I want to
Hmm.
actively work on this. It's going to be hard as shit, but we're going to figure it the fuck out. And that's exactly what we did. And that's exactly why everything switched, everything changed so much
Yeah.
so because not only, you have like the fights and the growth and blah 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 whatever, but like this growth, this like next level stuff was, I didn't, we don't know what we're doing. Like nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody gets into a
Nope.
relationship and they watch their parents, and that's the thing. You watch your parents or you watch TV. It doesn't matter either way. You're never seeing holding hands. You're never seeing couples kissing each other or moms and dads hugging. And so I never saw my parents
Mm-mm.
touch, not once. So I never thought that I had to touch my husband or my boyfriend or whoever. Like, and PDA freaked me out. I was like, this is weird. I've never seen
Yeah.
this before. I am being really bad. Like, I'm being a bad person right now. And then we live in a really tiny town, and word would get out, oh, I saw Sybil doing this. So I would just be like, no, not
Nope.
me. Nuh-uh. Not doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you see that, and how are you supposed to work in a relationship? Relationships aren't like that. You know what I mean? It's so hard because you get into them thinking that's all butterflies and, oh, this is how it's supposed to feel and blah, blah, blah. And then you're getting into some hard shit. And I understand, like, women have women as friends to, like, talk to or whatever, but, like, I think you should talk to your partner. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think that you should bring this, I mean, yeah, some relationship bullshit, whatever, but like serious stuff, like you gotta talk to your partner about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or therapist and then your partner, but your partner needs to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no class has ever taught you how to do that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Totally. No, yeah, it's like you're saying, it's difficult. We're all figuring this out for like the first time in our life because you didn't hear the private conversations going on with your parents if they actually did communicate,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think what's awesome is that we do live in a time where there is so much information online and you can demonize that too, but you know, not everybody can afford therapy, and I think the
Mm-hmm.
ability to have people share their expertise online, I think the fact that we can
Yeah.
connect online, you know, some people live in teeny tiny home like towns, some people live with abusive spouses that before the internet they would have never gotten out and realized it was wrong because they
Yeah.
didn't have access to an outside world. So I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of positive things to it. And I just think, I don't know, like I'm saying, it's like right now, yeah, we may not have like a huge reach, but we never know if we keep doing this, like who we're helping, who we're inspiring, or also like what we're receiving as well. So I think the fact that y'all are here and just open to this, it means a lot to me, and I really appreciate you guys.
No, same here. Thank you so much. No, I
Yes.
love it. Yeah,
Well,
what a
I will
great.
let y'all go because it's almost been an hour. And but Cece, we'll talk and see if we want to do another night, whether it's next
Yeah,
week or in a couple of weeks or whatever. So,
Awesome. That
okay,
sounds good. Thank
love
you.
it.
awesome. Thank y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
thanks everyone who tuned
Bye.
in. Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Next